Hi friends, today we are going to see the past year NEET questions for the chapter Photosynthesis. So earlier we have completed 4 parts, so this will be part 5 today. So let's begin with the first question here, which was asked in the year 2005. As compared to a C3 plant, how many additional molecules of ATP are needed for the net production of one molecule of hexose sugar by a C4 plant? Already we discussed about what is C3 and C4 plants. The only difference is that the cycles that they undergo and the photorespiration rate and the temperature. All these are differences between the C3 and the C4 plant. So equation for C4 pathway is, so if I show you, maybe you'll be able to understand. So here you see you have the equation for C4 pathway, which is 6 pep plus 6 rub plus 6 carbon dioxide plus 30 molecules of ATP plus 12 molecules of NADPH plus 6 molecules of PEP. Again you have rub, and you have 6 molecules of RUB, BP. So all these are enzymes. Apart from that, you also have 6,6H12O6 plus 30 molecules of ADP plus 30 molecules of H3PO4 plus 12 molecules of NADP. So here they are asking us about the C4 plant. Okay, the overall production is 12. So if you see, there is a comparison between the equation 3 and equation of C4. So C4 yields 12 while C3 yields, how about C3 now? See, we are talking about a scenario where we are comparing between C3 and C4. How many additional molecules of ATP are needed for the net production of molecule of hexose sugar by carbon, that is C4 plants? As I already mentioned the differences between both, I think this should be an easy answer for you. So you have 2 equations for each pathway. Okay, so based on the equation, how many you need extra in order to produce a hexose sugar? You require 12. Okay. Next question here, which was asked in the year 96, again repeated in 2004 and 5. Photosynthetically active radiation is represented by a range of wavelength of dash. Here it is a standard value. You cannot change anything. The standard value for this is, it is 400 to 700 nanometer. These are facts, and these are these are actually standard values. You cannot have any explanation for this. So here, this is the time, that is the photosynthetically active radiation is represented by a range of 400 to 700 nanometer of electromagnetic radiations. Hence this component comprise of active radiation particularly at this nanometer. Okay, so what do you mean by photosynthetically active radiation? See, the nanometer at which the photosynthesis will be active. Okay, therefore the correct answer is option B, 400 to 700 nanometer. See, this question is a standard value. There is no particular explanation for this. The only thing you need to understand here is at this radiation or at this nanometer, they seem to be active. Okay, next question here, which was asked in the year 2004. In C3 plants, the first stable product of photosynthesis during the dark reaction is dash. Okay, now coming to the concept. I already explained. So in C3 plants, they are asking us the first stable product of photosynthesis, and especially in dark region. So you're given 4 options here: malic acid, oxaloacetic acid, phosphoglyceric acid, and phosphoglyceraldehyde. Now out of the 4 options given here, we all know that C3 plants are called as cool season plants because they cannot withstand high temperatures. We all know that, right? They cannot withstand high temperatures. They're commonly seen in cool and wet areas, while C4 plants is just the opposite. They all grow in warm regions, especially where the temperatures are quite high. So this is a major difference between C3 and C4 plant. Now, the first stable product in the C3 cycle is of, see, when I say 3, you have 3 carbon compound, and when I say 4, it is 4 carbon compound. So out of the 4 options given here, the correct answer is option C, phosphoglyceric acid, while in C4 it is oxaloacetic acid. 3-phosphoglyceric acid, a 3-carbon compound, is the first product formed from the C3 cycle. It is then converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So we are talking about the first stable product. So it will come to glyceraldehyde, phosphoglyceric acid. If they did not mention it is first, then you would have had a confusion whether it is phosphoglyceraldehyde or phosphoglyceric acid. Since they have clearly mentioned the keyword first, then you have to identify the answer to be glyceric acid. So here you have a small PPT slide like something where you have an attachment to your right side. C3 plants are called because the carbon dioxide is first incorporated into 3rd carbon compound. Stomata are open during the day. Probisco, the enzyme which is involved in photosynthesis, is also responsible or involved in the uptake of carbon dioxide. Photosynthesis takes place throughout the leaf. Most plants are C3 and they are the ones which grow in cooled regions, that is where the temperature is minimal or below the minimal. Next question here. This question was asked again in the 2003. Stomata of CAM plants. We've already discussed a lot about these CAM plants, right? Now, coming to the answer. So you have 4 options here: never open, always open, open during the day and close at the night, open during the night and close during the day. So what is CAM plants? I've already discussed a lot about it in the earlier parts, right? See, I also explained about the full form of it. So this is a carbon fixation pathway that is evolved in some plants as an adaptation seen during the arid conditions. In a plant using full CAM, the stomata and the leaves will remain shut during the day. So option D is the answer. The stomata will remain closed during the day and it will be opened during the night. Okay, so already I told you what is the full form of this. Anybody can recall it? It is called as crassulacean acid metabolism. Okay, that is the full form of CAM. And the thing to be noted here is, it is a carbon fixation pathway, and especially for the plants who exclusively have or adapt themselves to the arid conditions. Here the stomata will be closed during the day and open during the night. Therefore the correct answer to this question is option D. So here you have a picture which represents the photosynthesis which happens during day and night. So here you have, in the night it will be open. That's what they have mentioned here. Stomata is open during the night and it will be closed during the day. Okay. C3 and C4 reactions are temporarily separated. So this is just a variation showing you. Okay. Next question here. In sugarcane plant, okay, we have 14 molecules of carbon dioxide is fixed in a malic acid in which the enzyme that fixes carbon dioxide is dash. Okay. They have given you a hint here. Okay, we all know sugarcane belongs to a C4 plant, a plant which has 4 carbon compounds, and of course it goes Calvin cycle. And apart from that, they are plants which can go even in high temperatures. They are a C4 plant in which the carbon dioxide is fixed in the malic acid by the enzyme. So you're given 4 enzymes here. The enzyme that fixes it is called as phosphophenol pyruvic acid carboxylase. And where do you think this enzyme will be present? It will be present in the mesophile. Okay, so here you have to remember only 2 things. First, identify from the question which plant belongs to which category. Here sugarcane belongs to C4 plant, so 4 carbon compounds. Apart from that, if it is a C4 plant, the fixation of this carbon dioxide enzyme is phosphophenol pyruvic acid carboxylase. And where do you find this enzyme? You find it in mesophile. Therefore the correct answer is option C. Next question here. Which one of the following is wrong in relation to photorespiration? Okay, this is a very easy question for you to answer. Photorespiration is a characteristic of C3 plant. Yes, it is true. Second option, it occurs in chloroplast, it occurs in daytime, it's a characteristic of C4 plant. See, during daytime, due to photosynthesis, carbon dioxide concentration is low. Okay, we all know that during the daytime. See, what is photorespiration? When we talk about these 2 categories, that is C3 and C4, we always have to remember the rate of photorespiration will be high here and will be low here. Okay, in C3 it will be high and C4 it will be less. This is just to use or just to make use of the water efficiently. Now, since this process doesn't happen in the daytime, obviously it's going to be closed, right? The concentration of the carbon dioxide will be low. So this of course is a characteristic of C3 plant. All that is correct, and it's a characteristic of C4 plant. It occurs in daytime only. All that is okay, but it is something that will not occur in chloroplast. Therefore the correct answer is option B. See, photorespiration is not associated with chloroplast. It is a characteristic of C4 plant also, but only thing, the difference between C3 and C4 is, in C3 it is found in higher rate, while in C4 it is found in lower rate. That is the only difference. So still it is a characteristic which is seen in both C3 and C4 plant. The correct answer is option B. Next question here, which was asked in the year 2011. Glycolate induces opening of stomata in dash. So when will this act? Okay, tropical plants have evolved from C4 cycle to overcome photorespiration. Before that, tell me, what is glycolate? How can you describe it? What does it do to to induce the opening of stomata? See, glycolate has a chemical, so I'll write the chemical formula here. It has a chemical formula of C2H4O3, and it is the smallest of all alpha hydroxy acid. So basically this is colorless, okay, it is odorless, and it's a hygroscopic crystalline solid which is highly soluble in water. It is used in various skincare products. Glycolic acid is found in some sugar crops, and this glycolate is a salt or an ester of glycolic acid. So I've given you the molecular formula. So how long does it take for this medicine to take effect? Sometimes they are incorporated in skincare products, sometimes in medications also. But how does it relate to a stomatal opening? What do you require for that? To induce a stomatal opening, it requires the presence of, see, as I already mentioned, it is very important for the stomatal opening. Why the stomata has to open? See, imagine the plant is consuming a lot of water, or in case the plant absorbs a lot of water, it has to be evaporated. You call that as evapotranspiration, which will be evaporated in the air, which seems to be unnecessary for the plant. Now glycolate will induce the opening of stomata in the absence of carbon dioxide. Always remember that. When does it take place? In the absence of carbon dioxide. Next question here. In photosynthesis, energy from light reaction to dark reaction is transferred in the form of dash. So these, I think by now you'd have guessed the answer. Any pathway that we undertake or any pathway that we take all resembles with one end product. And what is it? It is ATP. So it is the same ATP which is the answer here. So in photosynthesis, energy from light reaction to dark reaction is transferred in the form of ATP. ATP molecules which are produced in the light reaction will be used in the dark reaction also. Okay, it will be used in the dark reaction also. Why do they use in dark reaction? To fix the carbon dioxide. Okay, it fixes the carbon dioxide to form organic compounds. Therefore the correct answer to this question is option B, ATP. Okay, next question here. Which pair is wrong? Okay, you're given 4 pairs here, right? C3 maize, C4 Kranz and anatomy, Calvin cycle PGA, Hatch and Slack pathway, which is oxaloacetic acid. Out of the 4 options, option A is wrong, because maize, see, we all know the characteristic of a C3 plant. What is it? It will grow only in cool areas or temperature less areas. Maize requires good temperature. It doesn't grow in cool areas. See, sometimes when you get these kind of questions, if you don't know the answer or you're not sure about the answer, analyze the options that are given here. Now they have given C3 as maize. We all know maize grows in a normal temperature. It will not grow in cool areas where there's a lot of moisture and humidity. They cannot grow. They will not survive. So the wrong answer here is option A, C3 maize. Actually, maize belongs to C4. They grow in temperatures which are quite high. and they don't require much of photorespiration and all that. The correct answer to this question is option A. Okay, the rest of the options are correct. Next question here. How many turns of Calvin cycle yield one molecule of glucose? So this is a standard question. You need to know this. See, each turn of Calvin cycle will generate one carbon atom. Okay, always remember this. Each Calvin cycle on one turn. Okay, that is, we were talking about each turn. Each always represents one. So on each turn it will give you one carbon atom, and therefore imagine how many turns a Calvin cycle will yield one molecule of glucose. Hence six turns of the cycle is required to generate one molecule of glucose, because glucose has carbon 6. So in order to get you 6 molecules of glucose, okay, to yield one molecule of glucose, what you have to do, see, each turn will only give you one carbon atom, but we need totally 6 carbon atoms. That is the concept here. Don't get confused here. Each carbon atom, only one carbon atom will be released from one cycle, but we need totally 6 carbon atoms. So 6 times it has to turn. The correct answer is option C, 6. Okay. Next question here. Fixation of one carbon dioxide molecule through the Calvin cycle requires dash. This question was asked in the year 2000. Okay. See, when we talk about photosynthesis, we always have a major role played by carbon dioxide, right? Daytime it does a process, and nighttime it does a process. Now 2 ATP molecules are required for the conversion of PGA into 1,3-phosphoglyceric acid and 1 ATP during conversion of glyceraldehyde. We saw in the earlier question, right, the first stable product which comes out from the C3 cycle was phosphoglyceric acid, and this will be later converted into phosphoglyceraldehyde. This is what we saw in the earlier questions. The same thing is required here. Okay, so we talked about that. Now, fixation of one carbon dioxide molecule through Calvin cycle requires 3 ATP molecules and 2 NADPH2 molecules. Okay, so this part is understood, I think, the conversion of phosphoglyceric acid into phosphoglyceraldehyde. Okay. Apart from that, you also require 3 molecules of ATP and 2 molecules of NADPH2s. So here you can see, right, 2 NADPH2 molecule are utilized for converting 1,3-diphosphoglyseric acid to glyceraldehyde phosphate. So totally you require 3 ATP and 2 NADPH2. Okay. Option C is the right answer. Next question here. The enzyme which fixes carbon dioxide in C4 plants is dash. This is a very easy question for you because we already discussed a lot about it in the earlier parts. Okay. So you're given 4 options here. What are the 4 options? Hydrogenase, PEP carboxylase, reductase, and RUB carboxylase. See, when it comes to the 4 options given here, RUB carboxylase fixation of carbon dioxide is seen in C3 plants. Okay, this is seen in C3 plants. Which is seen in C3 plants? This is seen in C3 plants. Okay, we're talking about the carbon dioxide fixation in C4 plant. The correct answer is PEP carboxylase. Any other information that you need to know about PEP carboxylase? What is the full form of PEP? See, PEP carboxylase is an enzyme. We all know that. What does a PEP carboxylase do? What is the full form of PEP? Phosphophenol pyruvate carboxylase. And this will catalyze the fixation of carbon dioxide with phosphophenol pyruvate to produce oxaloacetate in inorganic phosphate. Okay, so what are the 2 products it produces? One will be oxaloacetate. Okay, oxaloacetate. And the other product is inorganic phosphate. Always remember this. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option B, PEP's carboxylase. Next question here. Which enzyme is most abundantly found on Earth? Oh my god. This is also again an easy question for you. You're given 4 options here. Okay, what are the options given here? Catalase, nitrogenase, then you have invertase and Rubisco. Now what is the full form of this enzyme which is given here? Did you ever notice that? See, I will tell you, it is ribulose, okay, ribulose 1,5-biphosphate carboxylase, okay, carboxylase oxygenase, okay, carboxylase oxygenase is a full form of this enzyme. So the one which is abundantly present on earth is Rubisco. It is an enzyme that catalyzes the first major step of carbon dioxide fixation as a process by which atmospheric carbon dioxide and water are converted to energy rich molecules such as glucose, which uses sunlight. Therefore the correct answer to this question is option B. Okay, invertase catalases help in breaking down of sucrose to glucose and fructose. Otherwise, catalase and invertase I've explained to you. Nitrogenase will help in nitrogenation process. So the major enzyme, or the one which is abundantly present on earth, is Rubisco. Next question here. So if you can see this question, it is highly repeated one, right? The carbon dioxide acceptor in Calvin cycle of C3 plants. This is once again an easy question for you. The primary carbon dioxide acceptor in C3 plants is ribulose 1,5-diphosphate. What is it called as? Rub. Here you have it. Ribulose 1,5-diphosphate. Okay, which forms a 3-carbon compound which is called as 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. The first product will be formed as phosphoglyceric acid. Only then it will convert into phosphoglyceraldehyde. So here when we talk about C3 plants, always go with this one, because this is one will give you 3 carbon compounds. So the correct answer is ribulose 1,5-diphosphate. So if it is PEP, then it will go for C4. Okay, the correct answer to this question is option B. Next question here. Photorespiration is favored by dash. I think this is again an easy question for you. I already explained about what is photorespiration when we talked about C3 and C4 plants. We said the rate of photorespiration is low here and it is high here. Why? These grow in high temperatures, these grow in cool regions. All these variations we saw. In C4 plants, if you see, the carbon dioxide will be in lower concentration, while in higher concentration will be in C3 plants. Now the correct answer is, what is photorespiration first? The water will be used efficiently, and the photorespiration rate will be favored only when there is high presence of oxygen and low presence of carbon dioxide. Therefore the correct answer to this question is option A. Photorespiratory loss of carbon dioxide will occur when Rubisco starts functioning as an oxygenase instead of carboxylase under conditions of high oxygen and lower carbon dioxide. The main reason is this: the enzyme which will transfer their work, they start functioning in different mode. Instead of Rubisco, oxygenase, okay, functioning as oxygenase instead of carboxylase under the condition of, so Rubisco will take an action instead of carboxylase. So when will that function keep changing? If you see, only when there is high presence of oxygen and lower carbon dioxide presence. Therefore the correct answer to this question is option A. Okay, fine. So with this we complete the part 5 of photosynthesis chapter. Hope to meet you in the next part of the same chapter. Thank you.